But the first time we ran it and turned it off and I ducked under the car, I saw 3 shots of ball lightning come out of the ceiling, out of the top of the...
Oh, you saw it overcharging straight away?
I saw it come out of the top, sit back over from the hemisphere to the top.
Yeah.
3 of them. 1, 2, and then one came across this way, squiggled and then darted back. So, definitely ball lightning.
Yeah, there you go.
What is it doing?
Yeah.
That's the question.
But yeah, overcharging the unit is one way of finding out. Yes. Welcome to Alchemical Science. I'm Jordan, an open source researcher and alchemist who investigates the stranger and less trodden corners of science. I'm also a student of the inventor, vortex fusion specialist, and plasmoid enthusiast, King Malcolm V. So today we will be covering more footage from Cosmic Summit, this time of the Plasmoid Chevy trial. So this beast was retrofitted by Australian brothers Sam and Eli, who you saw at the start of the video, and there's a bit more from them about their build in amongst the other footage that we're going to look at today. But essentially, Sam just saw my DIY build guide and he thought, yep, I could slam one of those together. He went out to his shed and he did just that, and his brother Eli started helping him out too. And then by weird happenstance, they both met another guy at a barbecue, an engineer by the name of Baron, who was also present for the demos at Cosmic Summit, and he put them in touch with Malcolm. So Malcolm went and gave them some advice on their build for a week or so before the conference, and told Sam and Eli to bring the car along. And of course, as you will see, they did bring it along. So the trial went really well. I'll show the Saturday trial up front first, before I play some of the bonus raw footage of Malcolm and others talking afterwards on Saturday. And then I do have some footage from Sunday as well, as there was another trial in the morning, which was a little better again, those results. The carbon isn't zeroed out, but you will see that it's significantly reduced, and the oxygen is raised significantly, as per usual. Malcolm's advice for optimizing this build even further is to make some adjustments to the original vehicle's exhaust, which is currently restricting the flow. I think there's a 1-inch pipe connected to a 2-inch pipe, which is the bottleneck there. So I believe they're still using 4, 3, and 2-inch ratio spheres, but Malcolm says that it would be ideal to double the size to 8, 6, and 4-inch spheres, I believe. And this would mitigate the overcharging that Sam mentions at the beginning of this video. So obviously it's really cool to see plasmoids arcing out of the spheres, but it's not really something we want in the long term. So the answer is to increase the size of the Thunderstorm Generator, doubling the size of the spheres and the pipes. Everything in octaves, or based on the 4:3:2 ratio in terms of the spheres, until we don't see any plasmoids flying out. So 864 spheres on a vehicle retrofit with the stubbier 3-inch long nested pipes seems to be a good starting point to try. So we'll cover all of these specs in much more detail in version 2 of the DIY Experimenters Build Guide, which is coming soon. Remember, you can donate to the channel to help make this happen. I'm completely open source and community funded, so thanks very much to those who have already generously made a donation or become a supporting member of the channel. It all goes a really long way, and I appreciate it. Remember, if you have commercial or investment inquiries about the Thunderstorm Generator, I'm unfortunately not your man for that, but you can contact the investment company who holds interests in the national licenses for the Thunderstorm Generator, the same fellows who funded Malcolm's original prototypes for years. So this is Alpha Prospects. You can get onto them using the email below, and they're happy to receive those inquiries. And also a fellow by the name of Eddie Nissen was at Cosmic Summit representing Alpha Prospects, I believe, and so I've got his details here as well to share if you haven't been able to get onto Alpha. And I think he was a little overwhelmed by how many people were there to see him as well, but you can try your luck and reach out to Eddie too, and he should be able to put you in the right direction. So please remember that I do not represent Alpha Prospects or any commercial entity related to this technology myself. I'm providing the appropriate details for you to reach out to the licensees if this is your interest in the tech. But I am obviously fully in support of the Thunderstorm Generator being rolled out in a major way. But this doesn't constitute investment advice. And if you're just building one at home to fit your car or a couple tractors, don't stress. None of this licensing stuff affects you. The DIY plans are open source. You're good to go. Enjoy. So this brings us to one last thing before the Plasmoid Chevy footage from Cosmic Summit. I received a rather enthralling invite to come and stay in Bob Granier's forest house in Brno, where I'm going to assist him to trawl through Dr. Matsumoto's archives, which Bob recently obtained from the late researcher's family. So, huge opportunity, very grateful for the chance to learn more from Bob and to be one of the first to go through the good doctor's archives. While I'm there, Roger Green from Breakthrough Energy is running an alchemical symposium, which he's very generously invited me to attend. Bob himself will be attending, speaking on the topic of advanced energy systems. Paul Harris, the inventor of the Therify device, which some of you may have tried out at their booth at Cosmic Summit, he'll be giving an introduction to the practical alchemy of plant medicines. And this will be a chance to learn some practical laboratory alchemy. You'll even be able to distill your own spagyric tinctures to take home. And this will all occur in the historically significant Edward Kelly Tower, which is where the famous 17th century alchemist John Dee lived. So we'll also be visiting the medieval township of Český Krumlov, renowned for its historical significance in Western alchemical and hermetic traditions. And the trip ends in Brno 10 days later. This is where the advanced energy systems part will occur, and we'll be exploring some of the more advanced technology there with Bob. So there'll be all sorts of other spoils to be had along the trail, with an alchemical costume party and feast, jazz riverboat cruise, exploration of the sacred and historical landmarks of Prague and Brno, medieval castles, glass blowing factory, lots more. This will be a more intimate chance to come and chat about alchemy, free energy, thunderstorm generators, whatever the mood takes us. So I hope at least a few of you can join us for this. The full event costs $2,000. You can factor in about another $100 per night for hotels, extra to this. Roger has some recommendations of places to stay on the website that you can check out. It's not an expensive place to eat or travel, so you should always be able to find more budget options too if need be. And if you'd just like to attend the first part of the event in Prague, the cost is $750, and if you're just attending the Brno part of the symposium at the end, this is also just $750. And you can see the prices for all the other events held over the 10 days, priced individually over on the website too, if you'd just like to come to some of it. Alright, so now on to the Cosmic Summit footage. We still have plenty more to come over the next week, and this next lot will also include the new certified trial results, which we completed last week, and they should be published and available first to take a look through in the next few days. So enjoy the Plasmoid Chevy trial footage. I'll show the test results in a clearer table at the end of each section, and you've seen them up front at the start. So there is a bit of downtime, but once again, I just want to publish everything raw and open source first, and we'll find some choice cuts later for a condensed video. Here is the footage.
I didn't know what the actual...
Here I am at Cosmic Summit. The Plasmoid Ute, Mr. Malcolm Bendall himself, is here. They did run it last night. I was unfortunately too jet lagged, but Emma did go down and get some footage, so we've got that. They might be running it one more time this morning before they're off, but we've got the test, so we'll be showing that.
We can leave it for us. We're going to want to step back once we walk start warming it up. We're going to see. Try and cut that side of the room. She builds up a good bit of heat. We'll be able to see. Opportunity to see that's genius. Yeah. So that's the 0, 0. Good, yeah.
Mind your fingers on that fan. It's a big one.
Right.
Yeah, I'm running thermal. Off.
I know it's not on.
Continuous warm-up cycle. Because this is only on a bypass, it's not the full exhaust, but it's kind of, he Frankensteined it together, because that's given us like Thunderstorm Generator that we're able to bring over. Next evolution will start making bigger ones, but there's limits to what you can do in the time available. Yeah, once it gets hotter, that's where we come. Because the ones we ran a survey on in England, when you get the sweet spot just right on the bubble up, the temperature comes up even more, and that's the judge that's when we're really signal. No, it runs at the temperature it wants to run at. It's all part of the learning process. 195 on the outlet of the top ball. I'm trying to focus on the top ball and see that come in.
What's the vision? What's the future for you?
Well, the Thunderstorm Generator really, it's one of like 19 different things.
Good, because now you're getting the bifurcation. Straight gas in, one side, and the other side of it. You can't get the focus shot. Sorry.
Meter? Get the meter? Get the numbers on the meter.
How many have a look? Have a look. So this was, 10%. It's getting up now. But I think with the anyway, the oxygen high.
See the light going down now.
Then you can see scientist than the other.
Mainly what to look at.
Here on the camera, you can see this top sphere. So you've got the inlet, it's probably exhaust manifold. On the left side of the sphere, about 100 degrees hotter than the right. And the bottom sphere, yeah, it's about 60, 70 newtons as well.
It's not strong.
Another scaling tells the story. Behind your hands, you've got a running fan.
The number changed.
But remember, what was my car?
After balls,
Yeah, that was running and then you swung it up a little bit and then come up
But there is some that's going to lease bypass.
So to go from 10% down to 2%. It's pretty good when it's already been bypassed. So that is good result.
It's like you're ready to churn, like from inlet air, so it's taking normal air. What's actually bypass?
We're talking about the exhaust. Exactly. Because it's a 2-inch exhaust. And I've only got inch adapters. So they're scooped out as much as the exhaust is possible. Some exhaust will leak past both of them. Yeah, or inlet but exhaust, some of it will actually leak past them. It actually runs, it's probably starting wise, yeah, it's running better because, but probably because it's been running so good that leaning it out a little bit makes it run really fast. Because, you know, the inside of that thing is just caked with carbon. It's caked.
It's pretty good on the outside there. I don't know if you've over...
Go put your head underneath there and you'll come out greasy, I'm telling you. It's caked with it.
Yeah, so the vortex, called the TSG, it's the natural, so you made it, right?
I actually made that, and George and you. I was in the process of making my own before they come out for what's going on. Like, oh, we got it.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like, I want to, a lot of people, I want to, I have some people that have the capital, like, yeah, let's bring it to Burning Man and do a demo. There's got to be some people learning how to make them and sharing info. Just there's an annealing process.
If you look at alchemicalscientist, he has a build guide.
Yeah, and actually making the sphere, it sounds like there's some tricks to making the sphere.
It's more of like a huge puzzle.
It is.
And you got to weld certain things together first before you move on to the next level. Basically you weld half of everything, and then you come back the other way and weld the other half. That's how I do it.
Anyway, but we'll get that. We'll have one engine running tomorrow from baseline, so we can see the baselines and then see the improvements. Same mold, same exhaust, same, they run with the the Plasmoids, when you put the Plasmoids on, you can never run that engine again and not get it. The engine itself is going to be you can't, then you can't get baseline.
So you're gonna have to, I think that's
Simple email.
What's that?
Oh, did it come out?
No. All right. Good. So this is now. Oh, okay.
I started thinking it, and I was like, all right, now I gotta look at it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing when you smell the and then now
Don't worry, it's good for you. Pure oxygen, baby.
So really excited about showing people the like whole engine retrofit, but retrofit is the first easiest thing that makes people get the car off.
Especially situations like this. Yeah. No, I was thinking I would love this for like my emergency home generator. You know, like for if the power goes out or something like that. Now you can pull the generator.
I've seen the prototype of
Yes. Does the increase in carbon, like the higher carbon output, change the system, or does it?
The numbers, but it's enough.
Done and done.
Verified.
I can't wait for Monday.
So in London, there's a site.
Oh, we're doing test work tomorrow. Spain. Doing test work for start with Virgin England. Test on 3 analyzers.
In London, it's actually running on the street.
The Thunderstorm Generator.
So like, it's like 24 So it's like it's big and yeah, that's the sign of you're running the show.
Done running this for tonight. They can't hear me, but I'm going to focus on you all. We're done running this for tonight. There is a band party inside of the main ballroom with $50 Dynasty. So Kyle and Russ's band is playing for the next hour and a half. Yeah, you are.
If you get a lot of other stuff kind of
Contested. Ready to go. Just waiting for the flashlight.
Right, so we've got an idle. So basically, this basically just to settle down. So let's just when the starts going down. So here's the reading. This is the background reading for the analyzer. So basically,
Put the power on.
Can you guys take just half a step back while they set up? Give them a bit of room. Thank you.
So now exhaust in the back, right? Exhaust in the back.
And then you can see, right, so what I had to do was, my 2-inch balls are inside this, and then I had to weld this half to this pipe first, come back and weld this half to it, while having this pipe extend through to the next little half. But before I did that, I had to be able to slip this section over that. So I can't weld this one without having this in place kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it's, you have to like have it there and push it all the way back as far as you can, just so you can get a weld.
Do you guys have like? Do you guys have a map for like displacement as far as like the diameter?
They may.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Monday classroom.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just more thinking of like.
So like I learned how to weld stainless. About a month and a half ago.
Okay, nice.
You know,
Yeah, the more you do it, the better you get at it.
yeah, and this was like my learn. And then you look at those welds in there, on that stuff,
Sure.
like 1,000 times better.
Yeah.
I welded the drawings of the piece. But this is what I was doing.
So the learnings on how to assemble the puzzle and scale it up, get more demos out. Who's thinking of that? No, yeah.
I've got my business.
Yeah, that's not his thing.
However, you've learned a lot.
Yeah.
There's value in that, right? And
some problem like this has got energy coming from the plasma. Energy running more smoothly.
Ready when you are.
Alright. So I'm here with Sam and Eli, the guys who put together the truck. So you followed the build guide, right? Like,
Yeah.
And how long ago did you start this?
What do you think? March this year was when I kind of was looking into it.
Yeah, right.
And then probably just a little bit after that, I started collecting everything to
Just getting all the parts together.
yeah, because it was taking me a long time to put it together because I was
Thinking
getting
about different parts that we wanted to use.
and I was
And we had the changes in the middle as well.
I know that's it.
Cutting down the pipes. and-
Pipe sizes changed, so I kind of like had to rebuy all the pipe and stuff. So
Yeah. But yeah, we ran it yesterday. And the test went well, right? Like, I mean, only part. It's not a, I guess, like a true trial in the sense of like
Yeah.
only part of the exhaust is coming out. But we did get to see the result, right?
yeah.
I think the results are pretty much evident to everybody standing around.
No, what? Sorry.
The smell. You could tell it changed a little.
Well, yeah, and the smell change, and this is a big thing because I did the smell test and I got a lot of flack for that. But everyone who comes and does smell the thing, then you know, and it's not just me saying it now. So that's really helpful.
Especially on something like this. People need to be around it. It's an old car. It's very fueling.
Yeah, that's it. Like you guys were saying last night, you
just needs
smell
more.
it.
It needs more conclusive testing
Yeah.
to find out what exactly is going on.
Well, and this is probably the most kind of explorative application so far, aside from the other Plasmoid cars.
Yeah.
This is only the second car that's been
that's
retrofitted all together, I think. So, yeah, this is about just fitting it to lots of different stuff now, working out all those kind of errors. But it was cool that you guys did it on this old Chevy. Yeah, it's a great.
It's what you had.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
It's what you had, but it works out because there's no electronics in this car, and
Yeah.
it just makes it.
Yeah, everything's mechanical, so everything can be kind of adjusted to and fixed, and slightly adjusted as it's running, kind of thing. So not like computer stuff. Where
And
you
obviously, we didn't do any testing on it when we put it on. We slapped it on.
You pretty much just slapped it on.
Yeah, we had the baseline
Yeah.
idle testing and stuff like that. But
Well,
like,
when I saw your videos and stuff, I was like, I just got to make it and find out what it's gonna do.
Yeah.
But I guess still like. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know. And I think, so what are the next tests going to be? Because obviously we can check if it's, if it's cleaning up the engine or if it's cleaning up the spark plugs or,
From what we saw with the smoke test, there's like vortexes happening where some cold air looks like it's been sucked back up the exhaust.
Okay, so that was occurring in your test.
That's with the smoke test.
we'll see what Bob says.
Right. And
But we don't know what that actually
Well,
does.
yeah, because I know the test that they did, there was concerned, there was a pressure leak in the engine when they had that pullback in. Not to say that,
It was doing it on this.
but it was doing on this one as well. But
And
then
it
you
looks
guys
like,
have the
it
two...
looks like it's creating an external vortex this way, which is causing air to suck back in this way.
Well, and look, that's how vortexes work.
Through the
that,
middle.
As Bob says, that's not surprising, but
Yeah.
it is. I guess, it's interesting to confirm that. And I guess we'll probably try that on one of the other engines that we.
But the first time we ran it and turned it off, and I ducked under the car, I saw 3 shots of ball lightning come out of the ceiling, out of the top of the.
Oh, you saw it overcharging straight away.
I saw it come out of the top, sit back over from the hemisphere to the top.
Yeah.
3 of them. 1, 2, and then one came across this way, squiggled, and then darted back up. So definitely ball lightning.
Yeah, there you
Just
go.
what is it doing?
Yeah.
That's the question.
But yeah, overcharging the unit is one way of finding out. Yes. Yeah. Oh, thanks, guys. So you guys are driving this back home, or are you towing it?
There's a trailer for it. Yeah, I don't think the old girl could. Well, I probably could in this weather. It'd be alright.
I was gonna say you get a good run.
It drives well. I just don't want to do something to it,
Yeah.
I just take it for 10-minute drives up the road and back. That's it.
Oh well, yeah. We look forward to seeing what you do with it, where you go with it.
Yeah.
Awesome job, guys.
Appreciate it.
I'm so happy that someone followed the build guide and put it in such a cool machine.
Thanks, Sean.
The frequency
Things for regular bookstore. I would rather just take a
I
couple.
got it
When you're
online
not busy and
from
just
a
talk to you as much as they want.
like a book distributor. Like,
I mean,
state.
Okay, so here's what ended up happening.
actually
And what
signed
you were
by the
talking
author.
about resonated with my experience so much, made me feel quite a lot less crazy.
Yeah, you'll
Because
find
I
it.
know
nowhere that God speaks to us, we say, hear the word of the Lord. Oh, thank God someone else is talking to Plasmoids.
Yeah, well, check it out like that. You really
This was a great relief for me. I mean, it's a small thing. It's sort of made it okay, sort of, you know.
Well, what I'm trying to just get is even handling the metal samples that are fused with plasmoids.
Absolutely,
has osmosis. It wasn't by direct infusion.
No, because you've got a population, a viable population of plasmoids that they're a group think. Your heart is a plasmoid generator. It is a spiral, a clockwise spiral imploding, and an anti-clockwise spiral exploding.
You've got to see my documentary.
It pulls in blood and expands the micro bubbles, which is, as it's coming in, it's net positive charge because it's carbon dioxide. Then when it explodes the bubbles, then it goes through lungs and oxygenates, the plasmoids pick it up. Blood corpuscles, God thought, how can I make a blood corpuscle? Well, okay, I'll just get a circle and I'll squeeze it together and I'll put a 0-point plasmoid in the corpuscle to hold it together. That's what a blood corpuscle is. Okay. I'm even wanting someone to look for fingerprints on it. It's got to be on the blood cells.
So the time, this all feeds into the time dilation situation. And so what ended up happening was there is a new hidden pattern in nature.
We've zeroed out just for the audience. So it means that's the oxygen level. It's good, 20.94%, and the machine's working because all the other components, carbon dioxide 0, carbon monoxide 0, hydrocarbon 0, and NOx 0. Sorry, the hydrocarbons just went to 1. So a bit of draft from the engine there. Yeah, so anyway, that's the thing. So that's good. It's
long
running.
story long, I'll get out of your hair about it. I've got just something really simple that the plasmoids seem to have conveyed to me that I would like to just put some simple blocks, wooden blocks in your hands or numbered in a way for you to tinker with, and it won't take long.
Oh, yeah, because I talk about wooden blocks. You've seen my structures, the new shapes.
Okay.
Those ones. They're electric. So, did you see the new shapes?
No.
Okay. No. It's in here.
Well, the effects are made behind the truck and everything.
That's right.
Torsion field stuff with midline customers. So these are effects that seem to be explained differences. And as Persuaded described it, you're playing with the seconds on the mass gravity equation. And so you're changing the way it's moving over time very slightly.
Yeah, that's the main thing about these 432 spheres, right, and the moon travel zone diameter, because the 2160 is both time, 2160 years is precession of the equinox for each star sign, right, and distance is 2160. So there's two things in one. So it's a time keep. Why is it a time keep? Because if the moon goes faster or slower, it'll affect the gravitational field. Okay. So it will drown. The high tide will be like Mount Everest, you know, and the low tide will be like empty, you know. So that would be catastrophic.
Well, Persuaded was an Einstein contemporary, and when you said time is the mold of Schrodinger's forward, it's just
I love that saying.
It's right out of his book.
Is it?
You gotta get it. He was the grandfather.
But I thought I made that up. So I just downloaded it.
It resonates with the work that might be quite interesting.
Oh, you see, that's my notes. That's it. And that's a really good book to get that Bob did. Joke on to make it really shitty, that'd be good for me. Make me look good. guess what? It's not changing. That thing's charged. Almost normal atmospheric oxygen. That is impossible, even though half of it's, yep, it is what it is.
Brilliant.
You see? Alright. Eli, come here. Photo. Take photos, it's my life insurance policy. Selfish, self-preservation, unashamed. You saw it here. Right? That is the money shot. Unbelievable. I'm going to print this out, and then we're going to go up to 1,000. So I need a pen. Someone got a pen somewhere? Sam, what revs was that?
That's 650, 700.
700 revs. What's it take today? 16. Yeah, 16. 16. Okay, we got the Chev. 1975. Okay. No one walk over there. I don't want anyone in this area. People from walking on this, just keep them away. Underneath. What's that? It's okay. We're already heroes. Okay, that'll be it. Okay, temperature reading on the sphere. What's the highest temperature reading on the sphere?
What's the highest temp on the sphere? Highest temp, well, right at the neck of the sphere there, I've seen so far is 180 Fahrenheit, 82 Celsius. On the sphere itself, we're looking at, well, it's something around. Very hard to tell on the sphere itself, but at the neck where the air is coming in, it's different. Yeah, at the weld, we're at 92 maximum temp Celsius. But it's not holding it.
Yeah, so take your pictures now for the record for my self-preservation. Selfish bastard. Just want to stay living. Yeah. You're not done yet. Apparently not. I thought this was the last gig. You signed another contract?
You just do it again next time, you know?
Yeah, I know. Avatar. No, there's no Avatar 11. If I don't do this, there's no more gig.
Oh, there you go.
There's my handout, boy.
But you can see the inlet half is way hotter, and then it just suddenly drops on that side. So look, 59 odd degrees there.
You can see the swirls on the inside of
And
it.
178 over there.
Yeah, when you're
So
hitting the sphere, you can see the change.
So the left side to the right side is 100C different. It just comes in hot, drops 100C.
Yeah, look how hot that side is. That's 100 degrees Celsius, over 100. Now this side's only 61.
Yeah.
On the other side
So
of
that's
the
148.
Yeah.
164, 152. It's here, I'm filming it. Down to 68, 59. Yeah, he's right there.
Yeah. Sorry, I've got
Like a nice
Sorry if you were
vertical, left to right. Nuts. But just bifurcated. Do you want to get a shot?
Over 100 degrees centigrade on this side, and only
Let me just see if I get
60
my
degrees centigrade
keep
on
my
this
fingers
side.
away so you can see the thing.
Yeah.
You can see that side, 164, 182, and then you come to this side of it. It's at 59.
crazy. That's a massive temperature.
And keeping in mind that this is just a scooped bypass from the main exhaust flow. It's not the whole lot getting through there.
Right.
Which is why the emissions, it's not a true test of what this does. This should be,
It's just a portion,
an 8-inch, 12-inch kind of unit, which we didn't have. So they just, well, let's Frankenstein this on and see what it does.
It's almost half the temperature. That's insane.
Yeah.
On the same sphere. It's
Yeah,
half.
well, I mean, this is what happened to me the first time I ever saw one of the little ones running, and the pipe, and that didn't even have a proper bottom chamber on it, and it dropped sort of 250 degrees in the width of my hand, where the pipe went out the bottom, and I didn't realise at that point that no, that's where it's coming in, and the difference at the top was about 250 degrees. Like, well, I still don't understand that, and that had a copper neck on it. I mean, you imagine a copper saucepan the size of my hand. I put a blowtorch on my thumb at 3 and get it to 300 degrees. Are you going to want to touch the other side of that little saucepan? I mean, it's just... That was the first day of, I don't understand. and I've been not understanding a lot ever since then.
Was that a year ago now?
Oh, it's 18 months ago. It was just, yeah, I'm pretty good at the temperature. Yeah, okay, that shows what I know. I don't know anything. It's just scrub everything you thought you knew and understand. And I just keep getting this sort of crazy kid at Christmas. What's it done now? What's it done now?
So same reaction today?
Yeah, and it's just, because I didn't know what this would do. We're going to see how these switches.
It's nature.
I tried to find it on the website, but 18 to 20 haven't been there when I've looked, I guess?
No, because it was decimated before it came. God forbid anyone should have this.
And you said this is going to be available on Randall's website?
On everything we can.
How to?
Yeah.
Are there more
delivering it by dolphin, whale, and courier pigeon. Yeah. Oh, maybe it's a bit heavy. Eagle. It's a bit heavy for a courier pigeon.
Are there any more here now?
Because plasmoids they live inside cubes. If you built a house and it was like this, you wouldn't want to live in it. If you don't de-stress the metal, number one, it's going to fall apart, but it needs to be a perfect cube so that the corners of the cube radiate the flat planes of the cube are aerials. So, and the corners then radiate any energy that's coming to that corner will radiate, and the plasmoid can sit in the centre and be acquisitive. Yeah, be acquisitive. Yeah. So it'll just keep storing. Martin Fleischmann experiment, which they now don't call. It was never his. Cold fusion was never his term. That was an invented term, so they called it cold fusion and said, oh, by the way, it'll have all these characteristics. Oh, it's not cold fusion, they were all toxic. So it's win-win. So they imprinted the cold fusion, right, which was Leonard, and then decimated him. And we have or Bob has those the notes and the videos from Massamoto. I highly recommend this book. It's on the Martin Fleischmann Aurora project, and it's got all these artifacts of what we found inside the Thunderstorm Generator. All of them. and this is diamond coming out of the liquid diamond coming out. Greater volume than the sphere it's coming out of. This is compressed matter. This is a crenellated iron sphere, and this is diamond. Black diamonds, look them up. They're harder than normal diamonds, and they're not found in the ground. They're found in rivers because they come from the air. They come from space.
Said black diamonds.
Black diamonds.
Isn't that what they use for like diamond kind of like stone saws? I'm pretty sure they use black diamonds.
Tuk-tuks instead of a 2,000. I mean, the bloody tuk-tuk's worth what, 1,500, and you're going to ask them to put a 2,000 catalytic converter on it. No, right? But you can take their exhaust pipe and their manifold, melt that down, create the spheres, blow, hydroform the current exhaust pipe, and just put it inside that. I mean, you're using the current materials. You're literally recycling your car as a Thunderstorm generator.
And that's probably one of the biggest problems with trying to change technology right now is no infrastructure is built that way, but to be able to just simply...
Well, let's theorize that, you know, somebody wants to hook it up with their little generator, and then let's say that generator to get the hertz has to run at a certain...
Slow crucifixion is called the shaman. Right? Yeah. So it's the shaman. Roland Perrinol, he's writing the next one. And he said, Malcolm, this year, he's my biographer, but he's also independent, right? He's an investigative journalist. What happened in India is that I told him, he said, oh my God, Malcolm, he said, you just completed the whole of the first book in 24 hours. You know, shit the hell, it's shit. So, you know, I'm living it. So, but anyway, so the next book will come out. This is separate. This is my downloads. This was the Akashic record. This is the Akashic record. The complete Akashic record, because the prophecy says that my grandfather was the King of Tasmania, and I dubbed the King of Scotland in the line of David. So I met the prophecy, and I delivered the Vajra back to India, and I'm the 10th avatar. Because so there's only one man on prophecy, right? So what it says is that if you look at the legends, it said that in the last days, beware of Barack Obama. That's what Jesus said. Thunder and lightning. But beware of thunder and lightning on one side, but if it appears on this side, then it appears over here. Right? So, beware of thunder and lightning. So, but it said in the last days there'll be an outpouring of knowledge, that Ubiaterian means place of pouring forth. And when the Dutch explorer saw Tasmania, he said, surely this is the great southland of the Holy Spirit, because it fulfilled the prophecy. And Heemskerk, Agnew and Zeehan, I built one of my big mines in Zeehan. Sea and zinc, and I floated that in London, right? And my oil project came from the Vision as well, which has the same Reichenella organism as Texas, the Barnett Shale. Yeah. So, so that's. But I fulfilled the prophecy. I went to Mount Sinai at the eclipse of the moon and was told who shall lose the God of Orion, which is the 3 pyramids. So, and you got the 3 pyramids. That's why all the pyramid data's in there. The exact 51.84, the angle of the pyramid, time itself. The King's Chamber, the octave down, 25.92 degrees. The Ark of the Covenant, the box, 2.5 cubits, 1.5 cubits, 1.5 cubits, 5.625 square cubits, times 64 is 360 degrees. Resonance. And truth. Irrefutable truth. Like the moon travels 25,920 miles in 24 hours. There's not much latitude there, right? That's what it does, and that's the great year. So the 2,120 is actually both time and distance. They're the same. That's why you have sacred geometry, sacred structures, because you need, for life to exist and to prosper, it needs to be resonant with each other. All things have to be resonant, right? So, like on the so here, this is the unification model, which my grade 6 teacher said, Malcolm, you can't build a car that runs on water until you know how matter and time and everything relate. So that is the unification model. That the only thing Tesla and Einstein really agreed on is the man that does the unification model. And it's a set badger. Like Indian government, that's why the head of the representative for the Navy recognised. I said, I had a thing and I pulled it out and gave it to him. He recognised what it was because it's a Vajra, and he recognised that the man that brings the Vajra is the qualification for the avatar. There's no question. You either bring it or you bring bullshit. You know, that's a lot harder to make than bullshit. It's 6 months to build that turbine. And the first person that, and Rory's here, I hadn't seen him for years, right? Because I went away and wrote my notes, and I isolated myself because everyone's trying to kill me anyway. So I kept on having to, when they found out what I was, and I changed my name, and then Randall, I wouldn't be here for Randall. Oh, well, this is Malcolm Bendall, he's on the Maldives. Thanks, Randall. Right, I've changed my name. The only thing that's trying to assassinate me at the moment are coconuts falling off the trees, right? Which is honest. An honest living for the coconut tree. Exactly. And daily swimming with my dolphins. And then I just Randall and said, he shows the unification model. And I thought, oh my God, that was meant to be anonymous. I didn't want anyone to be judging the information on the basis of who I am, so I was nothing. I didn't want to be anything. Don't want any money, don't want any property, don't want to own anything, rings. I don't, except what I have to use to communicate because it's necessary. It's just, And then they threaten me, I say, going to God. Your son's going to be in big trouble. That's the attitude. Because you can't be like, oh, I can't say that. Oh, shit, I can't say. Oh, I can't say that. And then next thing, you've got nothing. You've got no society, you've got no culture, you've got no basis, and you've got nothing to give your kids except the nuclear war and destruction. That's it. We're all standing here. This is our choice. Fight like fucking hell to save this planet, get direct matter to energy drives, stop all the bullshit, stop all the killing, stop all the, oh, we're short of this and we're short of that, and this is going to happen, that is going to happen. Well, wait a minute. Winston Bostic, wrote the paper in 1957, right, describing the plasmoids in the use. Kenneth Radford Shoulders, Martin Fleischmann, the MIT lied about it. He said, and even now you say coffee, oh, well that was all, no, it wasn't. Here it is. And now, the same playbook. Right? Same. Yeah. So this is a breakthrough conference, because I don't know whether you saw the Little Grymeria interview, which I did not on US soil, and was repeated by certain people that are in this room, mainly alchemical science. I did a little bit of a review of that, with a few little bits that are a little bit hotter removed. But the trouble is, the funny thing, when you're downloading, you expect the truth, and you are the truth, right? Because do you spend and color code all this, thinking, wow, this would be a great fraud. You spend 50 years of your life, sell a book? It just doesn't make any sense. It's just irrational. And the point is, no one can dispute that, because unfortunately, for the deep state, they can't change the diameter of the moon. They can't change how fast it's moving, and they don't have a relationship with the plasmoids. They're not only forcing things that are unnatural, so it's explosive technology, not implosive technology. Right? So they're forcing that. Right? So but it doesn't have to go that way, because nature, deus nature, the plasmoids are the homeostatic mechanism. Our intuition is the plasmoids generated by our heart, which is a clockwise, a spiral muscles, one anti-clockwise, one clockwise, going like this, expanding the gases in your blood, imploding, expanding the gases in the blood, imploding, expanding the gases in the blood, imploding. Blood corpuscles have a plasmoid in the centre and pulls it in, black hole, to the equatorial plane. As I said, I'm looking for someone to be able to see the fingerprints of God on it, because God's sitting there every day making blood corpuscles. You know, imposing, stable, zero equatorial plane, self-contained electromagnetic field. All of the things that are necessary for life. So,
sound frequency resonance technology.
And go to the lecture with Sheila, where she explains that this is real, but because it can't. It's like that. You didn't bring the Vajra, sorry, you're not the avatar. You didn't bring the unification model, sorry, you're not who Tesla and Einstein predicted. Someone will solve it one day. But when I solve it, I thought, come off the island, hey, isn't this fantastic? You know, boom, boom, red dots, you know, poison. What did I do wrong? You know, shut up, don't say it. Don't tell the truth. The truth, and even that thing I said, they threatened me. They said, like, if you publish your turbine, right, and your patent, you're dead. But don't worry about yourself, worry about everyone around you. I said, I don't give a shit about the people around me. They're dead anyway. We keep going the way we're going, we're all dead. So what have we got to lose? Die in battle, not cowering in the corner of a shower, pissing yourself. No. Not my style. But I saw Mark Fleischman. I sat with him, and he only had 3 months to live, but he lived for a year. Why? Because I gave him back hope. I said, I promise that I will finish your work, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to retreat. I'm going to just go and push in. I'll push in till I can't anymore. So anyway, so the truth is what it is. That's my point. And these artifacts from the ball lightning, Masimoto's work, they can't make them. Right. So I sat there with a little file and made, was it like 20 micron quadrillion of them. You know, and it's the only, the Thunderstorm Generator is the only population that's big enough, stimulated ion spheres, to be able to do the beam line, which meant we've got a 30,000-year-old age on the material inside the sphere. So I said two things. I'm 30,000 years old and I hid in a cave in India and went to pick it up. It's one option. Or that's reversing time. It's accelerating time with the clockwise thing. Which one do you want to pick? Which is more plausible? Oh, I'm 30,000 years old. Okay, I'll take that. Looking good.
Holding up well.
What's that?
Holding up well for 2 years.
Yeah, a few poison, a few gunshots, a few.
What did they use?
40,000 when it really starts to go downhill.
But the plasmoid, Wisdom Bostic, 1957. It's they travel at 450,000 miles an hour. So that's the speed of a spacecraft with the technology. See it on the video, running in the thing, it's going to be. But it's all about resonance, and it's all coming together. The guy that infused me with plasmoid, I haven't seen him for 12 years, on the stage with me, Johnny Smoke. First time we've met for 12 years. He just came in and said, Malcolm, I've almost finished the machine. Yes. So I said, well, good, because write it clearly so others can follow. So now we have the machine that I infuse myself with. So if you want to be as bat stupid as me, bat crazy stupid, and push in, there's a mechanism that's rational. Plasmoids, the Kolinsky cloud, the Earth and the Moon are sitting inside 2 half-hemisphere brains. Right, it's a Kolinsky cloud, 4 sections, right? They're producing carbon tubes, diamond tubes, they live in. Synthesizing diamonds. I mean, that's where we're at.
You said they dated the inside of your tank at 35,000 years old?
Sorry?
They said they dated the inside of your tank at 35,000 years old?
Well, I think they gave a range from 31 to 33.
What did they use the date range at? How'd they date?
Bob posted about
electron beam. Yeah, it's all posted. Yeah. Yeah, it's done by an independent lab.
Let's take in the.
And we had the 14 to 12. One result in science is not absolute; it's just a theory. But when you got 2, it's more like a hypothesis. You know, you've moved on with them. So we did the 13 to 12, and it was 1% depleting.
So it's further evidence that you're transmuting materials.
That was from
I think it's with all the, like I've got all my results so far, with the bubbler transmuting stuff inside it, and the results are there. I didn't do it, I got independent people to do it, £10,000, and so keeps reminding me. Like having a conversation, like, oh, the $10 I owed you, no, the £10,000 I owed you. Move on. Like a big tap.
Quite truthful about that.
There's a section cut out
someone can donate $10,000. I don't have to listen to that either.
Sent it to a lab, I can't remember which, and they tested the samples from inside the section of the sphere that they had scraped off the inside of the sphere.
Going through nitrogen.
That was the dating on the material. That came back.
Yeah, I was just wondering what method they use. How do they determine dates?
That I don't recall. Like,
Carbon-14 only works on organic material.
I think it was more advanced. Yeah.
By accelerating time.
I don't know, xenon or whatever they use. There's definitely multiple videos. They're relatively short on that subject at least.
You see that because they're obviously transmuting material.
Decimated?
Yeah.
You probably studied into some of them?
No, the guy who taught me was the head military guy of Tibet.
Yes, that's I've listened to your interview on America.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. Stuff. What's this doing?
Killing you.
Am I alive?
Softly.
Am I? Okay.
And left-handed, but I split my carpal tunnel in India when I was life or death battle this year. It's the first bit I was, in the fairness, I was in the passenger seat and I'm right-handed. So I had to try and defend myself with my left hand, and I put too much power into the left hand and I burst my carpal tunnels.
Okay.
Like, you know, because I'm trying to project,
So you were in a physical altercation?
Yeah, life or death. This is guns and knives.
Okay.
Yeah. No, the adult stuff.
Yeah. What were they coming after you for? This, I know.
What part of they don't want people to know, don't you understand?
But Malcolm, so because in this interview, you're talking about a version of this stuff that you had that was that you were saying that this is the simplified version. This was dumbed down to try to adapt to
in there.
To try to adapt to what we have.
Yeah, but that's what should be in there.
Okay. But what do we? But
you said just the exhaust.
Can I look at this?
The exhaust should be directed. The exhaust should be directed from the outside in.
Okay,
you know what's strange? All right, you should talk to David here. His goes straight in without that.
I've got so I built one at the house, and it was like 3 or 4 months ago, and I know like the variables are wrong with it. Like the rules are not specifically like.
It's forgiving
perfect.
to some extent, but the transitions are important. If you can stamp the spheres with a 51.84 degree, and that is between, just draw a point of, like, it can be any curve between a point that makes 50 to the pipe, makes, or where you're going to go to, is 51.84 degrees. Matter, sound, everything moves at 51.84 degrees.
Okay.
Right, so there's no straight lines in the universe, every line is a curve, every curve is either as a spiral, every spiral is either imploding or exploding, naturally. Now you can make them do the opposite way, which is what we're doing with our technology, exposes stuff the opposite way, so it's energy inefficient, high friction, energy inefficient, and poisonous. If it was implosive, it would be low friction, which that is, but just about zero friction because it's pulling away from the surface, and those blades are cooling. And the tornado that it creates, which is basically talking about the Vajra.
And this is a model.
Here.
This is a model.
Yeah,
of
but
what
the Vajra is basically like sits in this one, would sit there. Right, in my, so that's basically would be, that Vajra, as you tilt it, would create your steering.
So basically, that's a vertical, horizontal steering. That's what you're saying, as it tilted.
As it tilted.
And then, but you're talking about a levitating device here. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, I mean,
or this is a modification to the plasma.
Well, if you look at the full video, which is on loop, actually there's a loop, video loop between the frequency speech with the talk with Sheila, and we're having a loop of this turbine and how it works with full explanations on a loop in the. I keep forgetting the name of the room.
Moorhead.
Room are we in? Moorhead. Okay, Moorhead. Okay. Okay. Subtle. So anyway, so the loop will go, so people can see how this was developed. This is the new structures. There's, as I said, cube, pyramid, time crystal. Because 22.5 degrees. Why is that time crystal? Because 22.5 degrees times 16 is 360 degrees. It's complete. And every stable element is on that. So that is the link between ether and matter. Because it's the XYZ imploding. So it's actually creating. That's a visualization of creation being made.
How do we turn this into sound?
Well, that's what we're going to do.
I'm a musician. Can we utilize this and turn this into?
That's what Sheila will be doing, because we're going to do a full sound.
Not on the digital, in the physical space. Are we there?
Yeah, it would be interesting.
How far are we? That's what we're going. That's the goal, right?
And it'd be interesting.
Transmute. That's the goal, right?
Yeah. It's
how close
are we? Visualization.
I know, but
well, we're doing that in our Thunderstorm Generator. We're transmuting, but that would be. I talk about quantum crystal because it is the link between ether and matter. That is a visualization of how you. Because if you implode, if you add frequency, it's like you're adding something, and it's going all to the center. It's imploding, but it's imploding X, Y, Z at the same time. Look at that, it's amazing.
And are we getting ready to fire this up right now? Is that just to show this up?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the rundown on this?
Well, it's on the video, the loop video. Yeah, so I think this voice got.
It's all on the Strike Foundation.earth, right?
Oh, yeah, but it's on the loop here too.
Yeah, and here. Yeah.
Strike Foundation.earth is part of it. Yeah.
Mr. Malcolm, I know I asked you this yesterday. Yeah. Do you have any idea when that thing you have in your hand right there is going to publication?
This one? Oh yeah, no, we've got it. It'll be online.
Yes, sir.
At Randall's Cosmographic, it'll be on the foundation because they decimated our.
It's accessible.
Our website was decimated.
Yeah, I saw
2 weeks before every conference. Yeah? Albuquerque last year. 2 weeks before. 2 weeks before the Zurich conference. 2 weeks before the.
You said it was accessible. Have you been able to buy one of those?
I've seen where the PDF, but he's correct about the website not working. It hasn't been working the last couple of weeks.
Are your lectures on how to still?
Coincidentally, coincidentally,
I was wondering about that. Yeah.
Are your lectures on how to still? Or?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, because Rumble is backing us through speech, and Randall Carlson. Right. So we have some. Little bit.
Good old thanks for Rumble. Well, without the censorship, you wouldn't have people standing up. Right? People's taking a stand for what's right.
Yeah, forces you to stand.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, just you only got no choice. If I don't stand, I'm dead anyway, because we'll be sent to a nuclear war on the basis that, we have to.
We have scarcity.
Scarcity. Where we have direct matter energy drive. I mean, there's all of the what's the name work there. And this is the 864 one. This is one of my favourites. This is actually taking the numbers of 8, because it doesn't matter the sequence of the numbers. What we weren't taught is that the numbers are not absolute. They're just a dimension. Representation. And look at this. When you go 648, when the 4 is in the centre, that means there's less energy in the centre, which means it's exploding. Okay. And the 6 and 4. 6 and 8 tells you it's exploding from the left up to the right.
So they
right, and it's all encoded. And look at here, 648. There's your 432. Exactly the same. Look, 432, 864, 864, 846. Right, 423. The inversions are all the same. Isn't that amazing?
So this would be.
Then there's 129,600, and there's above it 2592. So all the 3 key numbers: resonant frequency number, unification, the melting point of hydrogen and the 25,920 years, the 25,920 miles the moon travels in 12 hours, and the 518,400, which is the 51.8 for the Cheops pyramid. In 24 hours the moon travels 51,840 miles because it's time. It's our timekeeper. And the 864, guess what? 86,400 seconds in a day, and the moon square is 8,640.
Do you think the math would be different around a different star?
No, this is the truth. We have putrid lies. We've lost 80% of our language. We've lost 80% of our math. This is the real math. Look at this. This will blow your mind, right?
So does the order of numbers on this mean that's
it's a dimensional thing, yeah. Yeah, you can tell exactly what's happening in the universe with that.
There's a booth in there that I just took a photo.
Oh, look, here's the hydrogen. There's the hydrogen. Melting point minus 259.2. Well, where's that? Oh, look at here. Melting point 259.2. Right? See what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And here's the sun diameter, sun radius, moon diameter, moon radius, and the 54.
I just want to wrap my mind around it. So the 648 in that sequence means that that's exploding. So the 864 in that sequence.
If the big number's in the center, it's imploding because the energy's centering. If the small number's in the center, and why weren't we taught that at school? Why weren't we taught that like there's 86,400 seconds in a day, and that's the diameter of the sun? Wouldn't that be useful? Why weren't we taught that the moon travels 25,920 miles, which is the precession of the equinox? And why is that? Because it's an octave. It's an octave. There's your three primary numbers. And if you go and watch the Sheila's video, she runs 129,600, the base number of all the three numbers that the universe is made of, and it's perfect. It forms, even with all its octaves, forms a stable node. Yeah, so no, but we're living in a creation which is intelligent design, right? It's not. Oh, when I went to university, oh yeah, it's gas clouds annealing. No, like yeah, they anneal to the inch.
And
yeah,
Malcolm,
right.
that you said is imprinted by the sun too.
Yeah, the sun imprints on ether.
The light imprints into time.
Here's all the ether. Here's the flat land second dimension. I've got the ethereal dimension here, the fifth dimension. Entropy is the 11th dimension. All the dimensional numbers in here. But if you go through to here, here's all the octave sequences, which are all the vases, right? There's 129,000, and you'll notice they're all different shapes. And the octave sequences, you just multiply them out, and you try and, like all the stuff in the universe, light. These are all 311040, which is time again, which is the 311 trillion and 40 billion our galaxies, rotates. It's all there. It's all, and my notes are all color coded. Green stands for time. So any calculations that seem in notes, the whole of my notes are color coded, so you know exactly what I'm talking about in the mathematical equations, and they're all color coded. Right, but the main thing that's going to blow your mind, it was the best thing I found, downloaded, was that if you take the dimensions, I can calculate which planet will have life on it, because if you take the sun's dimension, 864, and reverse it, you get Tesla's 369, which is also the radius of the Earth. So, I mean, it's unbelievable. They can reverse.
But how does 864 reverse? So I don't understand.
Okay, it's all mirror. Alchemy is mirrors. 864, what do you see in the mirror? 468. Well, what do you actually see? Subtract 864 by its mirror image. What do you get? Someone get a calculator. 396.
Okay.
Right, which is the radius of the Earth.
The equation of those two.
The radius of the Earth.
Okay. Yeah.
And then reverse that. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I've got the table here. I mean, it's just, and look at this. Just all of the numbers, time numbers, in relation to the Earth and the equinox. I mean, it's just all here. I rewrote maths, chemistry, physics, and all the dimensional numbers are here. Time dimension. It's got all the numbers there. 864 divided by 444. right, 1944. Right, look at this, 864,000 times 864,000, this number, divide by 444, this number, which is so big, divide that by time and time again, it's 1.5, which is the face of the clock. Half that is 7.5, right? Yeah, so, yeah, 0.75, but the time, the light at 144,000 miles per hour around the Earth goes around the Earth 7.5 times in 1 second. If you multiply, if you've got a calculator, you multiply the sun's diameter by 7.5, it'll invert. It's a dimensional. Because it's time, it's dimensional. 7.5 will change and invert that number. Someone get a calculator? 864, which is the amount of seconds in a day. It's the sun's, the moon's square. Because they're facing each other, the sun and the moon, therefore the sun square is 3456 minus 864, the diameter, equals 2592, which is the melting point of hydrogen and the great year. I mean, how unbelievable.
Just a coincidence.
Yeah, coincidence. As my notes are coincidentally written, right? And look at all the numbers here. I take that, divide it by 2. The first one, 972. It's the Earth's diameter. 792 from time. I mean, it's not random. It is a perfect system.
I'm with you, man. I want to, Malcolm, where's the first, I want to feel this manifest. That's why I came to see this Thunderstorm Generator.
Here's it manifesting.
I want to feel this manifest.
Look at this. Here's it manifesting.
I put it in a book.
Okay, look.
I know.
See this? This is all the numbers you're not going to believe. There's your 864. Reverse it, 468 in the mirror, right? Subtract it, 396. Reverse that, 693. 297, right? The Earth's diameter from the sun. You reverse it again, there's the Earth, 792, the exact diameter. Reverse that again, you get 496, and then you reverse that, you get 99. Look, all of them reduce. The moon number gives you the Earth's diameter.
Keep flipping back and forth.
Yeah,
It's
look,
all vortex now.
Reverse the moon's number, and it's the Earth's diameter. Again, it's the same. And Jupiter, right by Jupiter, the biggest planet, is a multiple of 999. The biggest planet in any solar system in the universe will be 999 times something, right? But 9 times all of the all of the numbers here that come out. Look at they're all 99 and 9 times 999, and then look at Mars. Again, reverse the number 4222 minus mirror image 2224, right? And guess what? You get doubling. There's your 3693. Tesla 369. Tesla said that it's the key is 369. Mirror image time. You understand what time is, which I believe, unfortunately, that I'm the only person on the Earth that does, because it's a mirror image. The 518,400, 6 days of creation, which has to be timed because things were created in that, is 8 times 9 times 10, step pyramid, times 10 times 9 times 8, 518,400. 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5 times 6 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, 580,400.
What's the significance of 432?
Well, that's 432. Yes. I created the radius and a radius. That's 864, those two spheres. The North Pole and South Pole. 864 is the diameter of the sun in Mars.
That's 432. Okay. It's double 432. Okay.
So 2 spheres, 432s and 864, which is time itself because it's 86,400 seconds. So they're resonant with the frequency of our day. So,
is everyone going to keep on meeting here, or are you going to go inside, or?
Oh, sorry. Got to be carried away.
Good.
I'm going to be speaking every day.
Is this actually creating energy, or is it a scrubbing?
No, nothing to do with scrubbing. It's creating, it's transmuting elements.
They did say there was going to do a run.
So this is actually
to the degree they will let me say. I can say 30% increase. I cannot.
Yeah, or that. Yeah, we're in it together. There, you get a better iPod. There you go. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, no, my question earlier about giving you a shout for their
See on the stops.
You happy with that?
Alright, there you have it, the Plasmoid Chevrolet trial. Thanks to Sam and Eli for putting this together and bringing the truck to the summit. That was awesome. I know everyone was really excited to see it, and you were all completely wrecked afterwards, but it was a lot of fun. Cheers guys, keep us updated on that build. And just to reiterate, here are the trial results displayed in the usual format. Thank you to Steve Earle. And in those results, we can see an enormous reduction in carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, hydrocarbons, and nitrous oxide, and a significant increase in oxygen as compared to control, as expected. And if I'm not mistaken, in this test the bubbler and ionizer unit were not broken, they were working. So the only big flaw in the design here was the restriction in the exhaust, and it still didn't cause too much of an issue. So hopefully that's something that can be easily dealt with. It can be optimized even further though. But otherwise, this was a very tidy build, brilliant work, performed well. Great job guys. So we will have the certified trial tests next for the next video, hopefully. Done on the same generator that Malcolm brought to the Cosmic Summit, the Predator 6500 watt, I think it was. So hopefully I'll have those within the next few days, so keep an eye out for that next video. And in the meantime, I already showed you this in the last trial video, but here it is again in case you missed it. This is the metered fuel consumption trial as requested. We can see the runtime of the engine in seconds using 10 ml of petrol. And we can also see the gas analysis results again here with the usual reduction in carbon and increase in oxygen. And that's all for this video, folks. Stay tuned for even more on Malcolm Bendall and his Thunderstorm Generator escapades. I have a bunch more footage to cover from Cosmic Summit, an interview with Malcolm, some more stuff on plasmoid unification, time and vortex-based maths, my presentation from Cosmic Summit, which I'll redo for YouTube. That's all coming. I'm the only bottleneck in all of this, so it's all in my head. It's all on my computer. Please remember to like and share the video wherever you can. Use the footage on your own channel if you'd like. Give Alchemical Science a shout out if you can. This is all open source, and if you're able, I do take donations. They're immensely appreciated. All the links are in the description below. Thank you all. I'll see you next time.